your man DJ Ekin, Tampa's most connected DJ. Hip Hop Study Hall, as always, right? Showing the possibilities through hip hop. And guess what we get to do today? We get to hang out with my boys here at Odd Sox. Yeah, Odd Sox, it's happening right now, man. Come hang out.
What's up, man?
Wow, my man Justin.
What we doing?
You know me, man. I'm like a kid in a candy store, man. I get to come and hang out at the one and only Odd Sox headquarters.
Yeah, man. Not your first time at this spot.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've expanded a lot. It's pretty crazy. We have a storefront now, which we've never had before, which you're in right now, and just opening up, the doors of the public, while we work behind the scenes is pretty cool.
We're gonna give everybody the history, but I like to give people their flowers, while they can still smell them. And I've kind of seen the progression and growth of this thing. Yeah. So first and foremost, this is my first time at the headquarters. Right. So big props to you and the whole Odd Sox team for just what you've done. Because I remember in the beginning, it was like a small thing that you guys were just building and working on and grinding every day. And now we get to be at the headquarters.
It's wild, man. It's a team effort. All goes back to our owner Ahmad and his vision, and then just the rest of the team. Ali, his brother, and Maddie, our designer. Originally started the company together, and then just to bring us all in and kind of fill the space and work as a team to build this up. I've been here since basically the beginning, so to see, like yourself, where it's come from, it's crazy, even when I walk in here every day and we have meetings and some of the phone calls that we have and things that we talk about and the things that we end up doing still are they blow my mind. Just looking at all the different licenses we have, and it's all stuff from our childhood and things that we grew up with. So it's pretty wild, man. It's exciting.
Man, I wanted to bring you guys into this space because when I talk about how much I love this hip hop stuff and the culture and people that I've watched and I've done things with and seen the growth, you guys are like a perfect example of that. And when we met, let's get into it before we even get a little deeper into what you guys do here at Odd Sox. Let's talk a little bit about what you do.
Sure.
And what your background is.
Sure.
Because here right now, first and foremost, what is your position here at Odd Sox?
I'm the marketing manager for the company.
Gotcha.
So, just the backstory on me is, I come from the music industry originally, and that was just from passion to my passion turned into blogging, and then my blogging turned into going to events and meeting all the people that now work all over the music industry and even outside the music industry like myself, where we're still kind of keep our feet wet, work with people in it, but so originally, got into the blogging game back when the blog era was popular and just really moved around a lot. I moved to Atlanta when Atlanta was really, bubbling, and I was down there for A3C festival when it first kind of started to bubble too, and they asked me to come work for them, so I was doing that. And just kind of weaving my way in and out. I worked for DJ Green Lantern for a while, and just kind of did anything that I could within the hip hop realm. And then when they started this company, they called me and said, let's see what you can do with some product. And so I started running around the city with product, and the rest is kind of history from there. But I mean, I got my marketing degree here at Odd Sox.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't go to college, I didn't go to high school. So I dropped out after 8th grade. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so we're just all hustlers, we all came together for a common cause, and it's wild, man.
Even with all the ways around and finding your way here, right?
Sure.
One thing that definitely stayed true though was your love for this space, right? The love for the game or whatever. Because that's what I tell everybody, I tell kids, if you love something though, you may not always find that perfect job, which is kind of why I want to be here with Hip Hop Study Hall, right? To show that there's opportunities in this stuff, right?
Sure.
But you doing all the things that you did, right? One thing that I think that they definitely need, that I would tell any kid though is to find something that you like and enjoy.
Yeah.
Right? How important was that part to you?
Super, because I didn't want to go do other jobs because I didn't enjoy them. So it was the whole thing was finding something I enjoyed, and I fell into this by accident, not because, it was something that I was like, oh, you know, my friends are starting a sock company. I didn't even know they were doing it. I just, you know, I just talking to my friends, and then, you know, they called me and said, yo, this is really moving. Like, what can you do in your space that you're already in by getting product to people? And then it just turned into Ahmad just kind of like teaching me a lot of different things as he was learning them too. And he's a really smart marketing mind. So, you know, me and him together have learned a lot together, and just in business in general, you know, kind of just growing within this space has been a blessing, because I've learned so much about not only, you know, the products that we sell, but just marketing in general. I've always been kind of a salesman, you know what I mean? I've had that mentality, and I believe to be a good marketing person, you should be a good salesman. You're selling yourself first and then the product.
Right.
But I really think like just kind of growing within this space has been, you know, a blessing to realize this is what I want to do, because I didn't know, I had no idea. Like, music, cool. How do I do anything in it? You know what I mean? I'm not going to be a rapper. I'm not going to be a, you know what I mean? And so it was just like, you know, this allows us to work within that space with a cool product, and then also allows us to be that brand where we can tell our story, like Red Bull, like you know, like Mountain Dew, like sure, there's a product, but like there's a bigger story to it.
Right.
And you know, I'm part of the story. Ahmad's definitely the main part of the story. Ali and Maddie and everybody that works here. So, yeah, I think the long and short of that is just, you know, I had no idea what I wanted to do, but this has become something that I want to keep doing. It's a fun job. Right. But I say that to say, like, if you don't enjoy your regular job, whether it's a 9 to 5, whatever you work, like, I'm seeing more and more people start to take chances now, and I think they should.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking around this space right here, right, there's a whole lot going on, like a lot going on. I walk in here and I'm kind of, being that I'm just a sock guy, like loving fashion, I'm like, there's a lot to choose from in here, right? And then looking at this space that we're in, right? Nowadays, it's like someone wakes up, they want to be a rapper, they think it should happen in a week, right? Or someone, which the new wave is the podcast, right? Someone wakes up and they have a podcast, and then they should have 10,000 listeners, 10,000 downloads every single week. But we know it doesn't work like that, right?
Absolutely.
And then people quit because all of a sudden it's not what they thought it was gonna be. Did anything scare you about this space?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it did, because I mean, we all wear socks every day, but I had no idea, like, you know, what goes into, like, you know, the business of socks. And then it's trying to figure out how to market with each audience. And the crazy thing is any new license that we bring in, you bring in a whole new audience. So it's trying to figure out how to, you know, overall tell the story of that product that you bring in. But I think the biggest thing that anyone can do, and we're a really big proponent here, and I think in the coming months you'll really see that, is just telling the story of yourself or your brand or the thing that you love, and be authentic about it, and really let people inside, instead of trying to kind of mask it with some, you know, fake shit, and just, you know, ultimately, like, not being true to yourself and whatever it is that you're pushing, right? So it's definitely was a scary space, but it was a learning experience. And I'm the type of person that kind of really jumps in head first and tries to figure everything out as I go. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but I mean, we're still here. So it's like, I think more people should take chances, you know what I mean? And if things scare you, it's probably good, because you know, it's a challenge, and anything, you know, worth fighting for is going to be a challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the Odd Sox story, right? We've kind of got a little bit about it. Like, it starts with this idea, and it starts with, like I said, I was around there. I get my hair cut in this very like area, right? Where I was seeing the socks in the beginning. I was getting them because I'm DJing parties and I was rocking them or whatever. And, you know, to just watch the company grow. So when you talk about the beginning of that Odd Sox story, to you, how does it go? How does it sound?
Well, to me, it goes even before Odd Sox, because, you know, again, Ahmad and Ali, the owners of the company, and Maddie, who's our designer that designs all these amazing socks. they have always kind of had their hand in not only just being hustlers, but apparel, you know, like their father was in the t-shirt business, and just growing up, we were always around it. But it really starts with the culture, to be honest with you, like just growing up in hip hop culture, growing up in just, you know, fashion culture in the 90s and in the early 2000s, and then them kind of just taking that and running with it. For me, it's just, those are my boys. So like, it comes natural, you know what I mean? Like we all have the same commonalities. We all like the same things. We all did the same stuff growing up. And then when Odd Sox started, Ahmad literally had the vision of, you know, what can I make? Everybody's making t-shirts. What can we do? And I know his story is just, he was just sketching out socks at a restaurant he owned. And
wow,
he figured out, like, you know, he went and hustled around, tried to figure out how to get them produced, and he eventually found a place. He did it, and then me coming in was about, I'd say about 4 months after that, you know, where I was just getting boxes sent to me up in New York, and I was running around the different record labels and all the different, it goes back to all those bloggers that I knew, and just, you know, product seeding with people and just planting seeds. And eventually we were sitting in Rock Nation's office when, you know, they came up to visit me. We were sitting with Lenny S. We were sitting in Jay-Z's boardroom just talking about socks.
Right.
And that was kind of the first moment where, I know for me, like running around with them for the first time, like it was like, oh, this is something way bigger than like I even realized it was. Like, you know, like my blogging and all this other stuff and all this running around never put me in this position that I'm in right now.
Right.
But socks just did that. So like, imagine where we can take this, and I think credit to everyone that works here, like we have.
Can we talk a few socks real
Sure.
quick? Because I know, like you said, like some of these things are things you grew up on, your childhood thing,
Yeah.
right? Is wrestling one of those things?
Sure, man. I mean, wrestling was huge. Like as a kid, you know, I mean, these were our heroes as a kid. You know, I'm born in '82, so like I went to SummerSlam in 1990.
Right.
You know, I went to all these little wrestling events when I lived up north in Philly and New Jersey, and but like Hulk Hogan was, you know, one of my guys when I was younger. Ultimate Warrior is my favorite wrestler.
Wow,
So
yeah, I think a lot of people
right.
like, felt like that.
So we're putting all these socks out, and one day, you know, Hogan has a beach shop here, and I went to deliver a package over there just to like introduce him to the socks. I was talking to his manager. This guy just comes walking in, Hulk Hogan. I had never met him before, even though we live here.
Right.
So it's just kind of surreal. Like, this man is huge. He comes up, he shakes my hand. I'm like, I don't get starstruck ever. I really don't. Like, because I've been around so many people. But that was more of like this childhood thing. And again, socks brought me there. So this was crazy. You know, we just released our greatest, the greatest wrestling matches socks this past weekend for WrestleMania.
Right.
And, you know, we were having a conversation, and our owner said, he goes, it was a dream to put this collection together. We used to sit in front of our TV and watch it. And then
right.
and now we did it legally, put it out, and everybody's loving it.
Yeah,
It's like WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior. I mean, that's my favorite match ever. I was a kid in front of my TV.
Right. Yeah, I used to stay up until midnight waiting for wrestling to come on in New York, right? I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it's coming on my, but that's like,
Saturday
dude, what are you
night's
doing?
main event.
Right. I'm like, it's almost time for wrestling,
Yeah.
Dad. What do you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When you look at the things that you're doing, right? Like all this stuff and where it's gone, right?
Yeah.
One thing seems to remain constant on what you're saying, right? When you talk about the Hulk Hogan story, right?
Yeah.
You still went to Hogan's because you saw that as like, that's a connection to something we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand deliver these over to them and speak to the girl at the register, speak to the manager of the place.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in bigger business don't understand how much that means in this hip hop culture.
It's get it done. It's just get it done. It's like figure out how to get it done. And that's also a learning curve, because like, you know, like doing my first events or things that I've done in the past, it's like, you know, you forget about some little things, and you learn from each thing that you do.
Right.
So it's an interesting thing for sure. But yeah, it's really a hustler's mentality, and just get it done. And I think that's what we all do here. So
I got a couple more things before I get out of here.
Yeah.
And one speaks to, you talk a lot about, and I know this personally because like I said, I love you guys and what you guys are doing. How important has it been for you? And like you said, Ali, Ahmad, Maddie, the team that you guys have built to help make this thing become what it is?
It's everything, because working with your friends is not easy, because when you come in the door, you have to separate friendship and business. And these are conversations that we have all the time. I mean, these are my best friends. Like, these are my closest friends. I've known You know, I met Ali when I was in 7th grade. He sat next to me in math class. We've been friends for 26 years. You know what I mean? And I've known Ahmad, our owner, you know, since he was a kid, like a young kid. So he's my boss now, right?
Right.
So we have to, you know, we have to separate that and leave it at the door, leave our egos at the door, because we know this is for the, you know, a bigger cause, right?
Right.
This is for something that is, you know, is bigger than all of us.
Where do you see the operation 5 years from now? And the apparel, sock, fashion culture,
sure,
in general.
I think we're just going to keep growing because we have a formula. So it's like there's a formula here. It doesn't just stop with socks. We have boxers now. So we've entered the boxer brief game, which is a very popular game, and we do it really well. We have a lot of licenses, and you know, we're right there with our competitors. So it's like, you know, the stuff that we're making is stuff that people are already seeing on the socks. Now we're putting it on boxers, but you know, we put it on slippers, we put it on belts. And then, you know, to be honest with you, we're experimenting with a bunch of other things. I mean, once you own a license, you can, you know, ask permission to do certain things, and you never know where we're headed. I mean, we'll be making candles soon, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
We have no idea. So I see this company in 5 years as a continuation of where we're at now. Continuing to grow. Hopefully, you know, we grow out of the space. It's a great space, but hopefully we need something bigger soon. And, you know, it's only going to go as far as we all take it, the legwork that we put in. But it's been a fun ride so far.
Who was that first artist that you talked to, and what was that first conversation like with regard to getting them to, you know, what's now become influencer? Back then it was endorser, rock my product. Who was that first person, and what was that first conversation like, getting them to rock the Odd Sox brand?
There's a few people. Some people found it on their own. The first person that ever posted us on Instagram was Snoop Dogg, and he didn't even like.
Wait. That's kind of a big first.
Sure, it was huge. Like we're just scrolling through our Instagram. He didn't like post us and like tag us, but he was wearing it. You know what I mean? So. I remember he was courtside at a Rockets game, I think, or something, at a game. It wasn't a Lakers game. He was courtside somewhere, and he was just sitting there with Jason Terry, you know, former basketball player, and you could see his socks. He was wearing like a suit or something. You could see his socks, and they were weed socks, and I was like, those are definitely ours. And so, like, you know, we were passing around in group texts, and then actual collaborations. Some of the first collaborations we did. We sponsored YG's, one of his albums. He did a movie with it. And so he did a preview or like a premiere of the movie in New York, Atlanta, and LA. And we, you know, we made the socks for the actual album. We gave them out as, you know,
dope,
as product at the movie. So that was fun. And then we also worked with Fabulous. Fab was cool because of the Rock Nation connection that we had. So we made a collection with Fab, and did a whole photo shoot in Lenny S's office, and that was fun. So, but on to bigger things. Like, I'd say the first big thing that we did, you know, it's outside of hip hop, but it's still in the culture, is we started working with Von Miller, you know, and we started working with Von Miller because his agent reached out to us and said, yo, Von's a big fan of your socks. He'd love to work with you. Shout out to Von Miller. He gave us a sweetheart deal. This was before he was the MVP. And we had him during the MVP Super Bowl run.
Wow.
And it was like, it was just perfect timing. And the collection came out right around the time that happened. And we worked with Lou Williams, who's obviously in and out of the hip hop culture.
Right.
And so just working with these people early on, it was fun. But we also, you know, just product seeding to people, you know. I mean, a lot of artists that, you know, like T.I. was wearing our stuff, and Big Boy, and you know, DJ Drama and Ben Baller, and like all these people in the beginning that were wearing our product. And now Swizz Beats loves our. We just see random Swizz, you know, he's just wearing our white basic socks. We don't only make novelty socks.
Right.
We'll just be looking, and we'll look at the toe, and it'll just say Odd Sox. It's like, yo, shout out to Swizz. Swizz has been rocking with us forever. I know Ahmad used to see him at trade shows all the time, and now, you know, we just product see. But I send out boxes to a lot of people, and so, you know, my goal is to put our product on everyone, obviously, but just building out real ambassador and influencer programs is where we're at right now. And with every release, get bigger. But it's all about creating content and putting content on real people and having them share their experience with it, telling their story with it. So we get DMs all the time from people that are like, yo, can I get some product? And, you know, we're going to create a lane where, you know, anyone can be an ambassador, you know, anyone can work, you know, for us, if they're a fan of the brand, like we'll give you a promo code, we'll send you a pair of socks, rep the brand, and let's see what you can do. You know, go out and be a hustler yourself. We'll give you the opportunity.
Right.
So yeah, man, and there's plenty of ways to find them. We're on all socials. We have you know, our own phone number. You know, you can text us. You can reach out to us, and so we've made ourselves open to the public. Yeah.
Dope, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. And like I said, I appreciate you again for even, you know, allowing us to come in here and,
Sure.
and get the game that we're getting from you today.
Appreciate you.
If there's a young kid
Mm-hmm.
that looks at Justin and says, yo, like, you've done everything. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But they're not sure where they want to go.
Right.
What would be that one piece of advice that you would give them?
I'd say like just keep trying. Like don't sit still. You know what I mean? Like just keep trying stuff, because eventually you're gonna fall into something you love. Like whether you're a videographer or you're in the music, you make music, you sell shoes, like whatever you do, like just keep trying, you know what I mean? Because there's never been a better opportunity than now to create your own company, start your own business, have your own outlet. Like in the music industry especially, you don't need to sign to anybody to be heard. You could literally make a song in your house right now, wherever you are in the world, upload it, get it distributed, you know, pay a very minimal fee, pay a minimal fee for somebody to mix it, make it sound professional, and you know, you can start pushing it on all the social platforms. You know, the fact that, you know, when we were younger, you know, we used to look through the source and it'd be like,
Right.
CD coming soon. You'd find billboards in different cities and maybe you would stumble upon it. Now you just open your phone, you can make anything happen. And the fact that you have the ability to talk to people that are at the highest level of the industry, you know, Jay-Z does talks on Twitter, you know what I mean, that
Right.
you can be a part of. Like Kanye is all over Instagram, and you can just leave a comment on there. He might yell at you, you know what
Right.
I mean? Like, so it's like,
Right.
it's like, you know, you have no idea what's gonna happen, but the opportunity to go viral in whatever you're doing is there today. And it's really just about continuing to work. It's taking one step forward. Just keep taking, even if it's the smallest step every day, just take a step forward, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you're wasting your own time and your own talent if you're not trying to better yourself every day. And don't give yourself a ceiling. Don't limit your time. Don't put dates on a calendar. Like, I have to hit this. It's cool to have goals, but like at the end of the day, just keep going forward. Yeah.
Dude, I think that's as real as it gets, man. Where can they find you at on socials?
Oh, we're on.
As always, yeah, my man. I definitely don't ever want to leave you hanging. You know?
We're on Instagram, TikTok. On Instagram, TikTok, it's Odd Sox Official, ODDSOX Official. Twitter, Facebook. Our website is Odd Sox Official, ODDSOX Official. And you can pretty much find us on every platform.